Welcome, everyone. This is Path Mules, and you're listening to LOTRO Players News, where we take a look at latest in LOTRO and hear LOTRO players. And this week, I'm joined by Cinders
Hello.
and Sanswinda. Sans?
Hello.
All right. For a moment there, I thought we were saying Sans.
Sorry, you're not
Eh,
seeing Sans
all right.
yet.
Let's. Not yet. All right. Let's then go and see what's in the news this week, where we had update 45.5, which means, of course, we have release notes.
Dun, 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 dun.
Yes. That's why Krister isn't here tonight, because he heard that I was going to read some release notes.
Quite
I mean,
possibly.
that
I
is possible.
I did not pay enough attention and did not make coffee, so I shall try not to yawn loudly into the microphone.
All right. Let's see what we have for update 45.5, which was released on Wednesday, September 24th, 2025. A special note: The Kingdoms of Harad is now available for pre-purchase. The Kingdoms of Harad stands at a crossroads, their rivalry sharpening as a greater threat gathers strength. Gandalf has come with a warning of a darkness rising in the south. The Sarduth, ancient servants of Morgoth, rise once more, harnessing powers that could unmake the balance of Middle Earth. Rally the kindred of the coins, along with the fierce Mizadi Shara of renewed Hamat, as rival kingdoms clash and old grudges resurface. From arid wastelands, blighted forests, and perilous ruins, war looms on every horizon. Who will rise to lead the kingdoms of Harad against the coming darkness or deeper into it? Experience the epic finale. Embark on over 400 new quests, uncovering stories of betrayal, shifting alliances, and ancient powers. Test your strength in 3 new instances and raids. Double asterisk, meaning coming about a month after the rest of everything else is released, as you take part in the climatic chapter of the Songs of Waves and Wind. In this update, the level cap will be raised to 160, advanced from 150 to 160, and unlock new powers, abilities, and gear to face the trials of Harad. Grow stronger than ever as the struggle against Morgoth's shadow reaches its decisive moment. Explore the heart of Harad. Journey through 4 vast regions, the blighted lands of Arhim, the arid gorges of Kikhan, the scorched plateaus of Ansharu, and the once vibrant lakes of Idagal. Forge fragile alliances as the Thardruth rise with power from the first stage. The South teeters between unity and ruin. Rally the proud kindred of the coins and the fierce Mizadi Shara of renewed Hamad, even as the ambitious Nakasi Wave Reaper moves to tip the balance. Okay, Nakasi is finally going to be showing up because she missed the just about the entirety of the last expansion. So now I guess it's her turn to be in the forefront. Journey further with expedition supplies. Get immediate access to expedition supplies to enhance your journey. The collector's edition includes, well, actually, I'll go through the collector's edition later when I go through the pre order bundles, and exciting bonus items in the Ultimate Fan Bundle. I'll also go through that when I go through the pre purchase plans. There is a link in all of this to the pre-purchase trailer so that you can see what's coming on there on the cover to that. Let's see. Well, I see our the Golden Queen from the Kindred of the Coins. I could see Gandalf. There's an elf there. Is that Legolas? Anyway, it's an elf.
Yeah, I don't think
And
that's
next,
Legolas.
is that not Legolas?
I don't think so.
Okay. Anyway, an elf that I can't immediately that I'm probably going to say, oh, that's who it's supposed to be because I just don't remember faces all that well. But I do remember Nakasi, and she is definitely on the front of that also. So, showing all the potential players that we could be facing against. Also, in this update, the Bane of Rune has arrived on Angmar and Mordor. The Bane of Rune has joined the Black Riders of Lebanon to challenge adventurers on the legendary worlds of Angmar and Mordor. Learn more about these worlds on LOTRO.com. Ring raids will sometimes appear in game either on the landscape or accessible by a portal that appears, and anyone at level cap in the game can enter into the portal or otherwise take part in the fight. Once enough players arrive through the portal, the ring raid will spawn. New versions of these ring raid instances will appear as necessary based on the number of players who enter the portal instance space. Now, of course, this is only on the Angmar and Mordor servers, so if you're not on those servers, then you don't have to worry about the Bane of Rune becoming the bane of your life. And Filbert Fig and Adventurers and Travelers Steelbound loot boxes have been updated. Filbert Fig has arrived to barter your figments of splendor for new and returning rewards. Filbert Fig can be found at the Boar Fountain in Bree along with Galtrev in Dunland, Scarhold in Ered Mithrin, Stolenlad in Imlad Morgul, and the 21st Hall in Moria, and in Hutvis in the Vales of Anduin. You can read more about that at lotro.com. As for other notes, the update includes a series of significant changes to frills and bushes to address an issue with game performance. Most frills and bushes are now client only by default. Some rock and frill placements may be adjusted as a result of these changes, but few visible differences should be noticed. These changes reduce the overall physical complexity of these objects and improves game performance because I guess they don't have to send those positions back and forth all the time. Now, of course, I guess if most of your problems are with your graphics card on this, it's not going to help it any. River hobbits will now grow and shrink properly during the mushroom hunt. Okay. Chess at Lugazog and Tirithral should now spawn after control shifts from one side to the other after 1 hour. The tyrant at the lumber camp is once again the required kill to flip the lumber camp back to the free people. The evergreen sicklefly and russet corgi cosmetic pets now properly appear in the collections panel and have accompanying text describing how to attain them. The ring raid event space has an adjustment aimed at improving encounter AI. The Valorous Potion of Morale can now be properly contained in a healer's carryall. The volume of the handnail has been reduced slightly to be more in line with other musical instruments. And the AB2 note is now closer in tone to surrounding notes. Kinship leaders can once again transfer without selling their kinship housing. Items in kinship housing escrow will be moved to personal housing escrow and can be found on any character on the account. These items can also then be transferred to a shared items transfer. The Rapper Quest, a bountiful harvest for the Harvestman's Festival, can no longer be canceled or to prevent issues with properly receiving the quest each year. As for unknown issues, some animations are now not displaying correctly to the new camel of the Golden Lion and the camel of the Vigilant Sentinel. These animations will be corrected for all races in a future game update. Yeah, Yes, let's just say the jumping camels jumping does not exactly work as intended. I guess is a good way of putting that. And that's it for the update 45.5 release notes. Any comments on that before we head out to the pre-orders?
Now that is what I call a piece of cake. You flew right through those, Pine Leaf. I'm proud of you. I didn't need my coffee to not yawn.
Oh, how nice. All right. So let's head into the pre-order for the Kingdoms of Harad. So that is the name to it. So that finally answers the question I think that I asked several times already, and especially last week, is where are they actually going? I guess Harad was
We're
a
going to
good
go
guess.
see the Mumaks. I hope.
Well, I did see a Mumak in the trailer video.
That's a good start. I didn't see one in the packages, but
Well, okay. Well, yeah.
I'm hopeful we'll still get to see some up close, and maybe even ride as a stable mount or something.
Well,
It would be cool, SSG.
So now we're taking the hobbits to Harad instead of Isengard, huh?
Yep. All right. Let's go and find out what we can get with the Kingdoms of Harad, where, as usual, there are 3 packages: a standard edition, collector's edition, and the ultimate fan bundle. The standard edition will be $40. Yes, I'm rounding it up 1 penny so that I don't say all those nines. The collector's edition is $80, and the ultimate fan bundle is $130. So you get the standard edition if all you care about is the content, or you're on a very tight budget. The collector's edition is for those maybe who, if you like what's in the collector's edition but don't care about what's in the ultimate fan bundle, or you're middle tier. And then, of course, the ultimate fan bundle, if you really want all the stuff, is what that one comes down to.
You do.
Well, let us go over what you get with each of them. Then let them decide for themselves whether they really want to. All right.
Let's say I was definitely guilty of seeing some of the things and being like, I need that item.
All right. Let's start out with the standard edition, which includes the Kingdom of Harad content. Now, there's an asterisk on that one, and the asterisk is naturally saying that the following items will be delivered with the Kingdoms of Harad release. So, in other words, it won't come out until the actual Kingdoms of Harad is released. That makes sense because that's why they call it a pre-order, but they just want to make sure that you understood that. Now, they are currently scheduling the release to be on December 3rd, but as we all know, they don't always hit their mark, so they do have an asterisk saying that it could be as much as a month late. If things really go wrong, it could be as late as January 2nd. So they are shooting for December 3rd, and I am sure they want it to get out by the holidays, if at all possible. So January 2nd as their fallback date is if things go dreadfully wrong, because the last thing I think they want to be doing is working frantically over the Christmas holidays so they get it out by January 2nd. So I will say that mid-December at the latest, unless there is a horrific problem. But anyway, the Kingdom of Harad content, which we discussed before, we're saying that 4 new regions, the end of the storyline for the Song of Waves and Wind, 140 quests and all that stuff going on throughout there. and things like that. Also, instance, cluster, and raid content, which they are which they have a double asterisk on that one to say that the contents will be available after Kingdoms of Harad is released. I heard that if things go extremely well, it might that the instances might come out as early as the main release, but obviously they're not particularly confident on something like that happening. That is if every single star aligns properly. Right now, I think we need to get a couple of stars aligned just to get the main content out in time. So let's assume for now that it is going to be, you know, a few weeks to a month after the release of the main product in there. Also in this group is a level 150 package, and it's really called a 150 level up package. So that's one per account. So that will go to whatever character you sign into first after doing the order. At least that's the impression I'm giving into it on there. So therefore, make sure you're on the right server before when you type in the code and all that stuff, or if you or logging in if you're after all that, because as soon as you put it in there and log into that one, that's the server that's getting all the goodies that are one per account. And so the level 150 level up package, that is a well, I'm not going to quite call it a valor because this is almost a light valor, I guess you could say. It gets you up to level 150 and also gives you Seeker of the Deep places so that you could access those legendary items. And also it gives you your riding trait, your war steed, and instance discoveries and skirmish unlocks. So that means you don't have to run through Moria and Mirkwood in order to do it. So you do get that stuff. So actually that's better than some of the earlier level up packages we've had in the past. It also gives you some level 150 gear, some rare armor, jewelry, and offhands. And also 2 basic legendary item boxes, select weapon and class item, and also assorted uncommon traceries. Note, uncommon traceries. That's sort of the rub about that's why I'm calling a low end Valor type thing, a Valor light onto it is because the traceries it gives you are uncommon ones. So that means those are those yellow traceries, which I suppose that if you level up someone up to 150 just before starting the content or about to get up to level 151 soon after that, well, you're going to be you're going to be leveling up to 151 and reforging and all that stuff anyway. So maybe yellow ones won't be as bad. But of course, if you're using it now, you're going to have a few months using yellow traceries. And also, you get a title Trailblazer. Because I guess you'll be blazing trails down into Harad?
Probably because you are one of the first people to go into Harad in ages.
Well, I'm sure the Ordekai have been there for quite a while.
Well, yes, but we all know that's not how colonization works.
Also, if they started in Harad, they didn't go into Harad.
Ooh, good point.
Okay,
I mean,
yeah. Okay, well,
But also,
I want to.
it might just be like the free peoples moving into Harad after having been out for some time.
Yeah,
I don't know. If I was, I don't know what you would call them, Hair Dream, I would be offended. But
well, first of all, calling them Hard Dream is one way to offend them.
yeah, that would offend them too.
Because that's a Gondorian name for them.
It's better than the name I almost made up, so we'll go with it for the moment.
Anyway, so
if I were from Harad, I would be offended probably.
So you're saying you almost came up with an even worse exonym for them.
Yeah.
Okay. So yes. So that's what we have for the standard edition. Now, if you order the collector's edition, you will of course get those items in there. But in addition to that, you will also get an extra outfit slot. This would be account wide, and this outfit slot that is being delivered with the release of the expansion. And it sounds like that they said that they have found a way to easily add extra outfit slots. So there may be other outfit slots that may soon become available. By soon, I mean after the expansion release. That may soon become available in the LOTRO store or something like that if you really wanted to go out with outfit slots, because right now, because we've been a very, very long time where we have not had any additional outfit slots. I'm sure there are some people out there who really wish that they could have more outfit slots because they keep on having to change it all over, stuff like that. I have a few characters, for example, that every time I get a new outfit that I would like to wear, I don't know what I gotta remove. You ever that problem?
Oh yes, I am looking forward to a new outfit slot.
Okay.
And
Same.
when I saw that, I was like, oh, I hope it's a really, really new one and not just like an unlock for one that I've already unlocked.
No, this is a
Right.
new one. They said that this is a new one, and that they found a way finally to make new ones because but there have been outfit slots around for how long? At least a dozen years, maybe 15 years or something like that. So,
Anyway, I'm excited about this.
all right. And then we have the Vigilant Sentinel title. That's in addition to that Trailblazer title that we were talking about earlier. And then we have the Armor of the Vigilant Sentinel. So that's a cosmetic armor set. And you have the Camel and the War Steed of the Vigilant Sentinel. And no, your war steed will still be a horse. You're not going to have a war camel as a result of it. But but you will also have, so you get War Steed cosmetics of the Vigilant Sentinel. Plus, you also have a camel of the Vigilant Sentinel, which of course means that, as you probably could have guessed from some of the other things you said so far in there, that yes, we are going to be getting camel mounts for this update.
Yay! Camels, but still no Moomox.
Yeah, oh well, one step at a time, I guess.
They are cool.
Yeah. And also, we have the Vigilant Cobra pet, so you can have a cobra follow you around.
That sounds
And there's
scary.
also, yeah, and there's also a Vigilant Cobra bauble. This is slightly larger than the Vigilant Cobra pet, but but the bauble doesn't move, so it's sort of a statue of a cobra. So if you find a moving cobra to be too scary, then you could just try the bauble, so you have a statue of a cobra instead.
That was a missed
So-
opportunity to put it in a basket and have it like pop the lid off and dance.
Oh, we'll get to the Ultimate Fan Bundle later.
Oh. Oh, sorry, I didn't realize that I was like, if you're gonna have a bauble, like this would be how I would. Okay.
Though I
Oh,
could
wait.
totally see somebody getting out their cobra pet and then propping sprint, and then like being chased by a cobra around.
Yeah.
That would be funny.
I've done that with
And-
bees. It's
Yeah.
great.
Yes. And finally, it'll also include improved expedition supplies. And the improved expedition supplies, which of course goes to the first character that you log into after getting this and others, to the same person that got that level up package we talked about in there. This reputation acceleration tomes times 5, virtue XP accelerators times 1, 100% XP accelerators times 5. Though I suppose giving it to the same person that got the 150 package, the 100% accelerators won't do you much good until they until the release of the content, and rare crafting components times 5. Right. And that's what we have for the collector's edition. So, any comments about the collector's edition?
I'm going to keep my mouth shut because apparently I'm ahead of the game.
Okay, then let's head into the ultimate fan bundle. This is for the ones who have enough money to burn, I guess, is probably the best way to put it. So it'll include, of course, include everything from the main feature, from the standard edition and everything from the collector's edition. But it'll also have a few more things. First off, in addition to that 150 level up package that you got in the standard edition, you'll also get the level 150 Valor package. So yes, they do make a distinction between. That's why I called it the other one a Valor Light or something like that, or almost Valor, because they're using the term Valor for the deluxe version of the Valor boost, which includes the level 150 item and also level 150 gear, which I don't know if that's. I don't know what the difference is in how good they, but it looks like it was pretty good gear that I got there because I was starting questing in with the character in Amarillo in there, and the first few things that I got in there, nope, they're not as good as what I got from the Valor package. Two legend,
The
yeah.
the last one, the Valor package was what you would typically have gotten, and then the level up was like opening I don't know, it was like all yellow gear. Not like the nice teal or gold or purple.
Oh, okay. I was expecting purple because it said rare armor. So you're saying that it's actually uncommon armor.
Okay, maybe it's rare. But it's not for the level up, not for the Valor.
Right.
But it's not necessarily as good as some of the level armor you'll get as soon as you start questing, if it's like the last level up package.
Well, in what I know that at the very, very beginning,
Which
and I was in
maybe
Iridir, the stuff I had was better than what I got in Iridir. But that was for
okay.
that was for the Valor package where I had on that. I'm pretty sure that if I was doing the other package, the lower end package for that character, yeah, I'm pretty sure the what I got in Iridir would have been better.
That's basically what I'm telling you, is that
Yeah.
when I compared the two packages with the last one, I haven't used the new ones.
Yeah.
The Valor one was better gear than I was getting from Quest Rewards for a while.
Okay.
And the not Valor one was not.
Okay. So
I don't know if that makes sense.
okay. Yeah, that makes sense. All right. Good. And now 2 legendary item boxes, which you select, you select your weapons and assorted traceries. And these traceries, I think about 2 or 3 of them were cyan and the rest were purple. So that means better than the yellow ones that you're getting in the other, and than the lower end package.
Yep.
Okay. And 6 extraordinary virtues of the Valar, and that was enough to get all of the equipped virtues on my character up to max. But it was not enough in order to start maxing out the rest of them, the ones that are on the side, the passive ones. So it wouldn't have done that in it. So if you're someone who swaps virtues, I guess, because when you go between your stances in there, then I guess could be a problem in that one because
you want to know which virtues you're leveling up.
Right. So I have all of my so all my DPS virtues are at max, but the any virtues I might equip for tanking, yeah, they're not in very good shape. So decide which which spec you want to emphasize and make sure you level up those first. Okay, 30 greater virtues of the valor and steed of the citadel, which I think I already had that steed or something like that, so that's not all that impressive. Or actually, no, not for that character. I think that's right. And 25 stack of level scaling morale and power potions, and more. I can't remember what the and more was. And anyway, so that's the better of them in there. So therefore, the Super Deluxe Ultimate Fan Bundle includes a Super Valor package, and the Baby Valor package is what you get just from the Standard Edition. And of course, let's see, we have the Leader of the Pride title. So we're going to have a little bit of a lion theme for a couple of the items that are in here. The Golden Lion armor set. And also the Camel and War Steed of the Golden Lion. And a baby camel pet. And the Golden Passage milestone style. So there's a milestone style in there that you could. There's a lot of milestones. It's tough deciding out which milestone style do I want to use. And the Golden Lion weapon aura. And a bauble called What's in the Basket. And the
I'm going to guess that what's in the basket is a snake.
yes, there's going to be a snake in the basket. And so that's what Cinders was thinking of when she was saying, well, what they really should have done. Yeah. No, they decided,
Great
no,
minds. Great minds.
they decided, yes, it was something that was absolutely needed, but only if you pay for the Ultimate Fan Bundle. Also, the Ultimate Expedition supplies, which I'll go. Actually, I guess I'll go into that now. In the Ultimate Expedition supplies, of course, are similar to the Expedition supplies, except they include 25,000 Virtue XP, 4 Virtue XP accelerators, and an Ultimate Carry-All selection box, which includes all current carry-alls as your choice. So yes, I have not yet had a chance to select a carry-all which character is going to get it or anything like that, because like what kind of I guess I'm going to look at my characters and say what type of item is causing me the greatest headache.
Housing items for me. Housing
Yeah.
items are the biggest headache right now.
Yeah, I have a feeling you probably hit the nail on the head. I'll tell. I probably have some characters whose vaults are just filled with housing items. So yes, thank you for reminding me of that particular situation. And also, let's see, a housing teleport item that, of course, has the asterisk saying delivered upon the release of the content, because we can't have a teleport to a location until they actually release the location. I know, what a surprise.
What?
Yes. And also, you get monster play appearances. And I'm hearing that some people are really anxious to see what these new monster play appearances are going to look like. And a golden lion earring, an XP boost that stays with you until level 150. And that is the list of things that are available when you pre order. So, Standard Edition, Collector's Edition, and the Ultimate Fan Bundle. Now, I did make a video that shows off all of this stuff, including the armor sets, the camels. I didn't show off the War Steed cosmetics, but I did show off the camels and the outfits and the pets and the baubles, of course. So, anyone have any comments on any of this before we go on?
Definitely going to be figuring out how to make M into a little bit of a snake charmer. Because when one can, one should.
Okay. I suppose. And that's it for the pre purchase thing. So, as for known issues, they have closed two instances. Two Legacy of Morgoth instances have been closed due to a bug in update 45.5. We will correct this issue in the next game update. I believe that there is supposed to be a game update scheduled for October the 8th. I think it's going to be the next one that they're, unless there's something really, really urgent that might push them to do. And the two instances are the Temple of Utug-Bur, the Inner Sanctum, which I believe is the third wing, and Nirgambar, the Restless Tomb. So I am sure that the rating community would like to get that first one, the Temple of Utug-Bur Inner Sanctum, fixed as quickly as possible, since that is that's the big raid that everybody is currently running. Assuming you can get past the second boss of the of the second wing. So we'll hope that. And also, now I've already mentioned Filbert Fig being back when I was reading the release notes. We do have a link to Filbert Fig showing Filbert Fig has arrived with new items also available in loot boxes. Filbert Fig has arrived to barter your figments of splendor for new and returning rewards. Filbert Fig can be found at the Borbury Fountain and those other places I mentioned before. And they show a picture of a chickadee and of a fish kite.
And the chickadee is so cute. And the kite looks amazing.
And available from Filbert Fig and in Adventurers and Travelers Steel Box loot boxes is the hat of the Avid Birder, trousers of the Avid Birder, shirt of the Avid Birder, all these things of the Avid Birder, the tome of the Leaping Fish Kite, tome of the Dashing Dusky Parrot, elbows bend in Signpost, small potted date palm, sophisticated Birder's pack, which is a returning item, and sophisticated Birder's accessory, returning item. Do I think the Birder's pack it's a returning item to loot boxes? Is this the first time Filbert that they've been carried in for barter or not? I can't remember on that. Available in Adventurers and Travelers Steelbox loot boxes for no barter option available is the Tome of the Sandpiper and a map of Middle Earth. And now available for barter, loot box only in prior years. And that says, that's the Sophisticated Birder's pack and the Tome of the Sophisticated Magpie. Those are the two that used to only be in the loot box and are now available for barter. Okay. Got it. And that's what now is available from Filbert Fig. Finally, we had a new episode of We Have a Cave Troll. It's a little bit later than usual, and that is because for this episode of We Have a Cave Troll was highlighting the start of the preview season for the Kingdoms of Harad. So they made general discussions about some of the work they've been doing in order for this thing. Obviously, not giving away spoilers such as what's happening in the songs of Ways of the Wind or anything like that, but talking about what the plans are for it and what they're doing, and and of course, talking about the next 4 episodes of Casual Stroll, with actually next 5 episodes of Casual Stroll with Scenario. We're starting next week on October 1st, and on each Wednesday of October, they are going to have an episode of a Casual Stroll where they're going to go through each of the 4 zones of the new area, and then finally show off the instant spaces in the final episode on this. Also, we are expecting probably around October 8th, I think, is when they're expecting the first bull roarer to start. I think they weren't 100% sure on exactly when, but I think they said that stars will have to massively align for it to be out, next week. So that, yeah, we're expecting the first of the bull roars to be out on October 8th, and I think they're allowing more time for bull roar this time around than they did last year, because I think they only gave it a month of it or something like this. But it looks like they're going to get close to 2 months of bull roar this year is what they're slating out, and so they're hoping. Therefore, they'll have a little bit more time to preview various items in there, maybe get more feedback to it, and have a better chance of actually hitting the date that they gave within the release announcement. And that is the news for this week. I'm sure there'll be a little bit more news next week also, especially we'll have a link to that we'll have a link to the first of the casual strolls. So now I talked about there being this Kingdom of Harad now being available for pre-order. There are, of course, also other things in the store that you can get. So, Cinders, what's on sale this week?
On sale this week, it is your last weekend to get the Jaunty Patriots coffer in the LOTRO store. So if you are not listening live, you may miss this opportunity because it is only there until tomorrow, September 28th. You can read more about it on LOTRO.com by clicking the link in the show notes. The Kingdoms of Harad is now available to pre-purchase, as Pineleaf mentioned. There's a link so that you can go check it out in case you forgot some of the differences between the different levels. You can also go there and back again and get 25% off of milestone skills, Hurried Traveler, and Returning Traveler. Ooh, I need to remember to do that. On my Sting characters that still have 35-minute or 60-minute cooldowns. Advanced Riding Traits and Rally Horns through October 2nd. And then the weekly coupon is for a free Tome of Defense that will last 6 hours with coupon code DEFUP, DEFUP, with no spaces, now through October 2nd as well.
Thank you, Cinders. So let's head into our weekend gaming. Cinders, what were you up to?
Not much. I I played a little bit on Thursday night with the group, but that has been having to be cut short because I need to go get my kid from play practice. So I've only been able to play for about 45 minutes at a time in the evenings. And then I did lots of real life stuff this week, like first aid and CPR training, football games, things like that. So I have not had time to play as much as I would have liked to. Sans, how was your week?
My week was pretty good. I have also not gotten to play very much, though. So I played with some cosmetics and looked at the new camo mounts in LOTRO. And then I saw the title of Court of the Rings from this week. I went looking for Little Bee Fire Pits. But alas, Little Bee Fire Pits are still not a thing. So hopefully, maybe someday, they will be.
Hopefully that question that was posed to Cordovan and the fact that he decided to name his stream this week after that particular item might induce someone to create some fire
I
pits
mean,
for Lindleby.
it would be so cool to have Hobbit fire pits.
Yeah, though something tells me that that's not going to happen in the next 2 months because I think the team is busy with something else.
That is totally fair. And
Okay.
maybe they'll be busy making a Moomock ride. That would be cool,
Well,
even if
we'll
it kept
see.
him out.
Well, no,
Anyway,
no, because if we're lucky, we're going to be getting maybe we'll be getting a letter to the players soon so that Orion can tell us
ooh,
what's going on. Orion just realized, oh, Mike is late in the month. I need to get that written. So it sounds like he's just getting to
writing.
the beginning of it.
Nice. Anyway, that was pretty much my weekend gaming. How was your week, Pine Leaf?
All right, I'll begin with my Guardian. Now, I had a challenge for this year. My challenge for this year was to in that since this is 2025, I decided that there were some challenges I have scheduled for this year related to the number 25, and there were some others that I felt it would be more appropriate to have a challenge related to number 125, which is the 5 times 25. So the one that related to LOTRO was to create a new character and get that character to level 125. So I created a new Guardian, and my Guardian reached level 125. And my Guardian reached level 125 on Wednesday. Half an hour later, I received my code for 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 was it Kingdoms of Harad. Amazing how quickly, because I fulfilled my obligation of getting to 125 without using any valors or anything like that on the character. There were no rules on what I did with the character after I reached 125. So I very quickly slowly went from 1 to 125, but very quickly got to 150 after that.
Very nice work.
Yes. So I now have a level 150 Guardian. In fact, my Guardian joined Friday Night Fights in there because I got my allies all the way up to spec. I got my so I had my virtues, at least my DPS virtues and my DPS allies. I got them to a nice level, so I was able to join Friday Night Fights for that. That went well enough. And I started working on the latter parts of Songs, Ways, and Winds. So in other words, the part that starts in Iridir. That starts where you get very quickly gets into Iridir. So I'm doing the Iridir portion right now, going through there, and that's the character that I was talking about earlier. That compared the rewards I'm getting in the Epic right now to the level up package. And yes, my Guardian used the Valor version of it, not the Baby Valor version of it.
Nice.
Okay, so now I still have to think about what to do with my with the Baby Valor packages. I have only 2 classes that do not currently have a level 150 character.
Ooh.
One is a champion, and the other one is a Bjorning. So I gotta decide, okay, which of these is going to get the nod for it. Now, my trouble is with the champion is that my current champion that I have is in a level up group. So if I level up a champion, it can't be that champion. It has to be another champion.
Fortunately, you can roll one though, and quickly go from 1 or 20 to
right to 150. So I should be able to get to 150. And seeing how that I've been leveling up champion quite a bit lately in there, that I should hopefully know how to play a champion well enough that I could Valor one and not have too much trouble with it. So I'm thinking of going with the champion right now. We'll see how that goes.
Fair.
And now my lore master went about throughout Udun reading those signs that are posted all throughout Udun. Say, that's supposed to be some sort of code that the forge workers use in order to give signals to each other without because apparently Ujacore spies don't know how to understand these signs. Okay, I can understand how maybe the overseers might know it or anything like that, but I can't understand how it is that the spies don't know,
Don't
because
know.
you would think, isn't that what spies are paid to do, is to figure out
Your
weird
whole job
things that
is
are
to know
happening?
things.
Your whole job is to know things, but in the questing, it very explicitly says that not even the spies of Utakor know about these signs. I mean, I have a feeling that the guy who's telling me this is just completely deceiving himself.
Either that, or the spies are focused on something that they think is more important, and so haven't spent any time or effort to try to know them either.
That's always another possibility. Because when you consider that they're about, I think there were something like about 6 signs plus a response that's about to. So we're talking about a dozen signs into it. How much information can you communicate in 10 signs?
And they probably assume that it has nothing to do with anything important because I don't know.
Right. Yeah. So this
Either they're deceiving themselves or the spies are focused on other matters.
Yeah. Whatever. I'm not too sure which one it is, but that seems supposed to go. And finally, I've been playing some more Tenjo, which is a roguelike game based on Mahjong. And that's it for my week in gaming. If you would like to send us any emails or the like, you could send it to podcast@lotraplayers.com, where you could share your ideas of what you think about the next expansion in there, or have any other comments about the show onto there. Name Players Alliance has 2 live shows on Saturdays at 8:30 p.m. We record Look Players News, and we record the DDO Players News when Drac is available. You guys choose for our shows at lookplayers.com/live. And that's all for tonight then. This is Piley Needles reminding you to skirmish responsibly.